Okay, guys. Good evening to one and all. So, are you able to guys hear me right? And screen share, wait. Are you guys able to see my screen right? Hello.
Not yet.
Okay, once you get to see, just tell me.
That's visible.
Okay. So, like, have you guys installed NetBeans to your systems, computers? I've sent you a link, right? Drive link for the NetBeans and the JDK. Okay, one second. I'll just share it over here. Mm. Okay, guys, the drive link is also up in the chat. So once I'll just start explaining, and once I get to the practicals, I'll like guide you for the installation also. So good morning to one and all. Sorry, good evening to one and all. So welcome to like the event. Learn to code Java GUI. So basically, does anyone know what is a GUI stands for, or what is an interface or something? Yes or no? Okay, no problem. The interface is just basic interaction between user and the system. So like when you open a Windows, when you start your system, there is a window coming up for File Explorer and everything. So that's an interface where user interacts with you, the system interacts with you, where you can understand it properly. So uh, in this full event, you will know what is GUI, how to use NetBeans and GUI toolkit, and then we will go on with Java character set, where you will learn how to code proper code uh, Java using the Swing libraries and everything. Then we will go for every component like radio button, checkbox, text fields, where you enter your input or a user interacts with the systems. Then at the end, we will try to make a small window where you will do basic calculator or a rental car problem. Okay. So first things first. So what is GUI? So GUI is a graphical user interface, which stands for a term which is not usually used in Java but in all programmings, but like nowadays everyone is using. So it's a graphical user interface that presents easy to use visual display to the user. So like when you open your mobile phones, there is an app design. So it's a GUI programming where you can interact with it. And upon some, when you click on it, there is a code behind it that will interact. So this is the basic idea of a GUI interfacing working. So for in Java, for making GUI application or GUI system frames, we need two libraries. We can use any two libraries like Swing, which is for older applications, and for nowadays it's used for JavaFX. Okay, so Ned, now we will go look like, does like everyone came to know what is a GUI, right? So like right now the Microsoft, like you are using the Meet, so that's also a GUI. Okay, so now we will go look into NetBeans, like which software is used for programming the GUI. So there are 2 to 3 other softwares also. NetBeans is very easy to learn for the Java beginners also, and even if the coding beginners, I can suggest Java because Java NetBeans, because it's like easy to learn and very uh, it is very easy to grab the knowledge also. So even if you don't know C or C++ or anything, and you have any basic idea, so how for loop, if else, and switch case works, then it will be easy for you to understand this Java NetBeans also. So basically, NetBeans, Java NetBeans, NetBeans IDE is there. Then nowadays, Eclipse IDE is used for Java GUI codings. Okay, so for we will look into NetBeans IDE first. So NetBeans IDE offer like RAD style of development tools. So what is RAD style? So RAD style is like rapid application development which describes a method of developing softwares through the use of pre-programmed tools of wizards. Like uh, like a text field is already coded in the software, we have to just drag and drop in the frame where we need to put it, and the NetBeans will automatically generate its codes. Okay, so NetBeans is of a RAD style of development application for Windows programmers. So if anyone needs to program window, then they can use this NetBeans IDE. Then NetBeans IDE is for proper introduction. NetBeans IDE is a free open source cross-platform IDE. So IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment, which is built in with Java programming languages. So, and it can run anywhere where the Java virtual machine is available. Okay, so basically the uh, features which is provided by NetBeans are drag and drop creation, like just drag the components to the frame and just drop it wherever you like to. It will directly create, like excellent editing, so web services, wizard, code generation, which code generation is most probably it will be beneficial for us. Like if we want to code a big thing, then drag and drop and automatic code generators are very useful for us. Okay, so this is Java GUI, how it is used in Java. Okay, so a GUI application involves much more than a screen made of GUI components. Okay, so GUI components means like button or a tab or a text field where you enter your name, password, or anything. For example, take up a login page, right? So for login, you need username. There is a label for login for writing the login and the password name. And there is another password text field where all the dots will come, right? So and there is a button for sign up on, and there is another button if new then register over here, like sign in. Okay, so this is like basic uh, structure of a GUI, like login page. Okay, but it is not like this much only, but it involves much more, like properties of the component, how what are the properties, what is the action doing, like when we click the button what action it will perform. And there are events, like event is basically an occurrence of an activity, like a mouse is dragged or a window is closed or something, right? So when the event whenever there is an event caused, each time an event occurs, it causes a message to be sent to the operating system. Okay, so the operating system processes the message, then it will broadcast to all applications. Then each window will take whatever action based event or something related action will be done by the uh, particular window. Okay, so like when we click, when okay, for example, we create the login only. So for login, there is you will enter your username, and there will write down your correct password. Then you will click on login. So the username and the password will check with the database, and then it will go goes to the next frame. So this is the same. This is the thing. And in Java, the GUI features are provided by Swing APIs. Okay, so Swing APIs, which includes everything required from the buttons to split panes. Okay, so like there is a split screen between in application or a desktop application, from simple button or labels to split planes. In the Swing API provides with you it. Okay, so there are for GUI program. whenever you code a GUI program, there are three basically tiers of software like graphical components, event listeners, and event handlers. Event listeners means a particular action is done, so the event listeners listen to it properly. Okay, for example, like that get event listeners, that is that which get notified about the events and respond to them correctly. And the event handler, it's just basic that do the work for the user in case the event occurs. Okay, so like in case the some things like whenever some user doesn't perform a particular event, but we need to it is required to perform that event before occurring the second event. Okay, so the event handlers do that also. Okay, so anybody has a doubt in this? This is the main thing to understand how the GUI program works. Hello, is anybody hearing me? Hello.
Yes, Alap, you're audible.
Yeah, yeah, because no one is like responding, so I just thought they were all sleeping again. Okay, no problem. So I'll just continue if and nobody has a doubt. Okay. So the next thing is the GUI Java components. Okay. So I defined it earlier. So there are three kinds of things like component, events, and listeners. Okay. So there are two type of components in the GUI applications, which is a total frame, like sorry, the total frame like a window. It is a main top container which hold other components within it. Okay, so other controls in it like button, radio button, checkbox, and everything. But the child controls are the controls which are in the container control, like buttons, and they are child controls, and the main frame or the panel or the splits plane are the container controls. Okay, so the basic components for basic child control components are JFrame, J label, J text field, J button, and everything. Okay, so and when then okay, so you guys came to know what is like components and everything, right? So now we will go to event and listeners. Okay, so for an event, I already told you what the description of an event. An event is an object that gets generated when a user does something, or such as mouse click, drag, pressing a key on a keyboard, or etc. Okay, so the three major players to add functionality to the GUI application is the event, the source of the event, means which component, a particular component, on which component the event is registered. Okay, and the event listeners. An event listener is attached to the component and contain methods and functions that will be executed in response to the event. Means when I click a button, there would be method functions or some calculation need to be done, that will be done by the event listeners. Okay, so for example, there is an action event for clicking the button, item event for list and drop down list, and mouse event for any mouse event like clicking, dragging, uh, double clicking, scrolling, anything. Okay, then okay, so how many are from like how many know like C programming, C++? Can I know? Can I get any response over here? It's very important. Like, should I consider everybody knows program like basic description of a code like keywords, literal data types, variables, and everything? Hello. Okay. 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 So basically, Tokens are the basic units of the in a program. So which are like keyword, identifiers, literals or data types or punctuators or operators. Okay, so the keywords are basically a definition. Keyword definition means like a words with special meaning into the compiler. Okay, so like abstract, byte, switch, if, else, for, while, like a word which has a specific meaning to the compiler. Like it can't be used as identifiers or variable names or something. Okay, and then we go to identifiers. Okay, so identifiers are the fundamental building blocks of a program, as in general terminology for the names like variables or objects, classes. We can put identifiers names there. Okay, then there are literals. Okay, the literals are the data types which are the means to identify the type of data. Like a 54 is an integer data. Float means any decimal point, like 5.7. It's a float data type. And uh, boolean is like true and false. Okay, so there are only two values for boolean data type, true and false. And there is a character where there is a single character, means yeah, a, b, like any word in any letter in the alphabetical English alphabet we can use as a singly it's called a character, but together like Java, this whole Java thing is a string, like character array. It's like a JAVA. So this is a character array, okay, which is called a string. And there is another data type null. Okay, and then punctuators are there, and then operators. Operators, I will come back to operators. Then the variables, variables are nothing like similar like identifiers only. So name, memory location, which holds the data value for a particular data type, like integer a. This is a declaration, proper declaration for the integer data type, like int. This is a like a short form for integer in the compiler. This is the int. This is the keyword. Then there is a identifier, and there is a semicolon. Same ways, this is the character char, like small short form for whole word character char. Then this is the ch means identifier, like variable. Okay, and semicolon. Then there is float is just like float. There is no short form for that. And variable name or identifiers. Okay, so this junior doesn't have any special meaning in compiler, so it's not a keyword, so we can use it as an identifier. Okay, so operators. So operators are nothing. Operators are simply like in maths we have learned. Okay, so arithmetic operators, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus. So modulus just is a new thing for coding purposes. Modulus is just give the remainder of a divisions. For example, if we have 5 by 2, okay, so when we divide it, so it would come like 2.5. But for when we give like 5 modulus 2, it will gives the remainder of the division, which is 1. Okay, this modular symbol is used for like odd even or some calculations for leap year and thing. Okay, where the remainder most probably comes like 0, 1, or is differ to 0, where we will use this modulus. Okay, then there is an increment or decrement, plus plus minus minus. So which will increase or decrease the value of the variable, of an integer variable or a float variable by a by one. Okay, so we can also change the memory address of this pointers by this increment and decrement. It will change the address. Then there are relation operators, basic, greater than, less than, less than and equal to, greater than or equal to. This equal to means like if they are equal, it will return true or else false. Okay, and this is not equal to, this exclamation mark and equal to, this is not equal to. Okay, then there are logical operators. Okay, so like op1 and op2, and this is the like the symbol of and. Then if both are true, it will if both are true, then it will return true, or else if anyone is false or both are false, it will return false. So basic logical operators are basically logical gates which have we are learned. So this is the or gate. Okay, so of one, and up to if anyone is true then returns true, then this is a not gate, reverse the output. And then there is a assignment increment operators, like this is a plus equal to 10 means like it will increment the value of a by 10. Okay, so if there is a multiplication or minus or any arithmetic operator you use here, it will do it like it will be done. It will be like a is equal to a plus 10 or a minus 10 or a is equal to a into 10. It will be like that. Okay, so this operator in many while coding a big expression. Okay, so like there's a full you need to find a value for a particular long expression, then you need to know the order precedence. Okay, so for any mathematical formula we knew that B, DMAS rule, like division, first division, then multiplication, then addition, then subtraction. Okay, so the addition and subtraction are order are same, but for multiplication and division is reverse. So first it will do the multiplication in anywhere there is a multiplication, it will do first, then division, then the modulus, then the plus, and that is minus. Okay, so this is the main thing which we'll be using. And the first thing, it will increment any value. Okay, sorry. Okay, so if there is an increment operator or decrement operator, it will do the first. Then the same is your first increment, then decrement and thing. Then it will do the multiplication. This top to down, there is a precedence, and here left to right. Okay, so please, while coding or if you know C programming or something, that you have come across like the operator precedence. Okay, so here is the operator precedence, right over here. Okay, so this is a swing These are the different components available for swing libraries, like push button, labels, text fields, checkbox, radio button list, and combo box. So, okay. So has everyone installed like this? Okay. So, okay, wait, I will restart it all again. Okay, like, does anyone need help in like installing NetBeans right now? Hello? Does anyone need help in the installing the NetBeans? Please respond, guys.
Okay, I have installed, but I'm not getting this page that you are showing.
Right now, you are not getting your page. Okay, wait. Uh, okay. Okay. So, are you guys able to see this now? Okay. So, uh, Did you install this?
Yes.
Okay. So just open it over here. It will first download the JDK, then it will side by side also download the NetBeans. It is all of the components are already available over here for me. Okay. So once you over here, then it will go. Okay, but I can't do it again.
Okay, I got it. I got it.
Okay. 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 So if everyone is getting this page over here. Okay, so this is the basically toolbar, new project, and okay, so first I will get to create a project. So first of all, click to this folder plus one. Okay, so then go to this Java category, Java project, Java application. Okay, so then write your project name, such as this event. I'll just put the name as event. Okay, so creating a main class and set as main project. So just unclick this, setting the main thing, then click on finish. So you'll get over here, you'll get this event folder in files or under projects. Projects or files anywhere is good, no issues. Once you get it, so we need to create a new frame over here. Okay, so just right click over here and new, then there's a JFrame from. Okay, so once you click there, it will ask you to name the form. So I'll just start up with like hello world, hello world frame. Okay, so basically when you create a frame, you will get this whole window. So it's like this is the frame size of you. So whatever you want to do, whatever you want to fix the size of the frame, you can do. Once you're done, then it will just no main class found. Why is that so? Okay, no wait. Let me add this some component first. Why is it? Okay, wait. Okay, first of all, I created this demo. Let go over here. Okay, wait. Okay, so right now this will work. I don't know where is the com. Okay, so this is the main thing label, J label. This is the okay. So this frame is the main container control. So in which where all the other controls will be added. So this is the label. Okay, then we can. So here is the palette. Okay, so here you can see like label button, radio button, checkbox, combo box, list, text field. Okay, so whenever you want to add a component or like a swing control, okay, or containers over here, just drag, just click over here, just drag it and put wherever you want to. Okay, so it will adjust the code, adjust itself and put it. So I want a text field over here. So if you want, click and drag and drop. Okay, so it's that simple. Why it is not running? Okay. Okay, wait a minute. I'll just figure out this problem and come back. Sorry guys, I just had a internet issue. I'll just log out and just come back. Sorry for it. Sorry for the trouble, guys. Just wait for 2 minutes. Sorry for the trouble, guys. Okay, so I'll just start from the top. So basically, first create a project over here. Like I created an event. Okay, so right now I need a new form, JFrame. So hello world over here. So just like I've told you, just drag and drop any label you want. Okay. So like there is some properties for every component over here, like JButton or text field. Okay. So okay. So there are properties for every component available over here. So what if you want to change the content of this? So basically just right click, edit text, then whatever you want to do, like enter your name. Okay. And just like just like to every component, you can just right click and edit text content over in it. Then you can adjust the size also, just like the. And for creating this button, just like editor, like display my name. Okay. So this is the main basic frame. Okay. So I just adjusted the frame size over here. So okay, so I mentioned you about the events. Okay, so you want to, so whenever you want to, like the for button, you need to, whenever I click this display my name button, you want to display your name. Okay, over here at down in another text field. Okay, in this text field, you want to display your name. Okay, so and okay, so for every so just like double click on this, so it will lead you to the coding part of the button. Okay, so see in this is the public class hello world extend Java X Swing. This is the Swing library which is needed to be included. Okay, for the JFrame. This is a hello world component, so init components. Okay, and this is the generated code for your frame. Whatever you have designed over here, this is the code for it. It is auto generated. Okay, so you don't have to mess anything here. You don't have to do anything over here. Okay, just keep it just as like generated code. And this is the action event. Okay, so like whenever a button is clicked, so it will go to this action event. So whatever I will write over here, it will be executed. Okay, so what if I want to do an action like a typing event on this text field? Okay, so you can just right click over here and there's an event. So there are this different type of events. Action for if action is on like double click on click anything. Okay. Then there is a container event. Then there's a focus event. Like a focus is gained or lost. Means when you go to the component and a particular method will be performed. For that, you can use this focus event. Then there is a mouse event like mouse clicked, exit, pressed, released. Okay. Then there's a property change like a properties change of a event. Okay, that we will come to it later. Okay, so you have used coding in coding. You have used variables, name of the component or something, data types, right? So over here also same thing is there. But this is the name of and this is the variable name. Okay, J label 2, where your text is enter your name. Okay, so okay, wait. This is a name. So whenever you want to access anything, okay. So for just take an example over here. So you want to display, get your name. So okay, so let me run this software for frame first. I don't know what is happening over here. Why my event is okay? So I'll get to this coding first. I don't know what is happening with the code or something. Okay, no problem. So over here, so for getting the text from the this text field like J text field 1, this is the name of the text field, like a general variable assigned by the compiler to the text field. Okay, so if you want to access this text field contents or a methods which is already there. Okay, so you have to write J text field 1. Okay, then dot. Okay, so then there are these libraries. So if you want to get the text from the thing, so it's basic get text. Okay, this is the like getting the text from the text field 1. So I need to store it somewhere, so I'll store it like string str j text field 1. It will stored in str text field, right? The text field is like get the character string from the text field and store it into the data type. So now you want to display it in the second text field. Okay, so there's a for that there is another method. Same, you have to go for like j text field to, okay, dot set text means like setting the text to the text field. Okay, set text in bracket. Okay, so whatever string you want to display over here, like for like if you want to display str, just type the variable name of here. And if you want to display anything else, like the name you entered is saved. Okay, so it will display that. I don't know what. It's all good. Then what's the. It should get run. I don't know. Before this meeting, it was running perfectly good. Okay. Okay. So I'll work on it. I'll show it over. I'll show it later on, like working frame. I'll go on to the next swing components. Okay. So like over here, this is the checkbox. Okay. So like if you want to check anything, like in forms you have seen, like checking some like accepting some private policies or something, just in this checkbox. Okay, so if you want to change the contents, just like edit text, like save the name. Okay, or else like discard the name. Okay, so these are the two checkbox over here. Okay, so for example, while executing the frame, you need only one checkbox to be like checked. Like you don't have to do like save and discard at the same time. You only have to do like save or discard at the one time. You can't choose both, only you have to choose only one. Okay, so there are button groups. Okay, okay, button group. Okay, so just drag and drop anywhere, wherever you want. Okay, so for saving to this button group, you have to go to the properties. Okay, so here, are you guys able to see this button group? Okay, change to button group 1. Okay, and for the all same thing. So this is a button group. Okay, so from that you can only choose one, save or discard, not both. If you have not done like grouping, then it will work as a singular individual. So it will be like check or not unchecked. Same goes for radio button. Okay, so like radio button is mostly used for like male, female, and others. Okay, so in any other form, you have to like say your gender over here, right? So for that, you can choose like male and female for the board at the same time, right? For that, there is a button group. Okay, so for one button group is already over here. You want another button group. You can't choose. You can't keep this and this in the one single button group, because you then only from all this you can't choose only one. So like save, discard, male, female, other, so it will be only for one whole group. Okay, so drag and drop another button group. Okay, so from male, same thing, go into the right click. Okay, go for properties. Okay, there is a button group. Button group is already occupied, so go for button group 2. Close. Same for female also. So do you guys see this orange line over here? Right. So this shows like these two are groups, these two are group, and when I add this also in button group 2, it will show. Okay. So like these three are grouped together. Okay. Okay. So like whenever you choose this male thing, male option, you have to, whenever user uses this clicks this male option, you have to think like you have to do some calculations. Okay. So whenever you click this, so we need a particular event. Okay. So there is an action, action performing over here. So we need which event it will be performed, and we need a particular event listeners. Okay. So right click over here, go for events. Then there is a property change. Okay. Go for property change. Like it is like property change means like it will be like checked to unchecked or checked to unchecked. It is a property of the property or the state of the element or the component is changed. Okay. So you need to store this male into a character. Okay, like gender to, so okay, so not character, string gender. You need to store the radio button content, like what is written in the radio button. Okay, so simple as what is the name of the radio button, right? So don't confuse in that the radio button name is mail. No, it's the content of the thing. If you want to know the name of the variable, like change variable name of the radio component. Okay, so if you want to get something like remember, so okay, so write as mail. Okay, so mail radio button, but it's like a long name. Okay, so for basically I keep R1. Okay, so the name of the variable is changed. Okay, so see over here also. First it was like R1, J radio button 1, and it is changed to R1. Okay, let me get another one also so you can compare over the property change. Okay, so I changed this property. Okay, so like I generated another property change event over here. So see, the female radio button variable name was J button 2, so it is getting saved like that. But it is changed to but when I change to like variable name, so basically wherever there is like, this is useful because you don't have to go and write every time radio button 1 2 and 3 or anything. Okay, so it's like basically R1 R2 R3 with basic variable assignment. Okay, so you want to save the gender to the, okay, so R1 dot, basically get text is also working over here. Get text gets the like male male. Okay, and it will be stored to gender string. Okay, so okay, so basically I will do the same over here also. But I don't do okay, so it will store the female string to the gender string. Okay, these are the things, these are the action like event listeners. So I don't know, now it will be working or just running and terminating itself on its own. Why it's like this? I don't know why this is happening. Okay. So, did you guys understood anything till now? Do you guys have any doubt till now? Guys, does anyone has a doubt? Okay. Okay, no problem. Uh, Wait a minute. I'll just again share my screen. You able to see, right? Okay. So now, okay. So you understood this mail thing, mail function, like radio button. You got to understand like what is the use of this radio button, what is the use of this checkbox. Okay.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
I have a doubt regarding button group.
Button group. Okay.
So, accidentally I have added many button groups. So, how do I have to remove a button group?
Okay. Are you able to see this, right? See the screen.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So open inspector. Like there will be an inspector tab over here or over here. Are you able to see that? On the left side of the NetBeans, it will be an inspector tab.
No,
Okay.
I don't have.
Okay, wait. Run. Where did I? File. Okay. So go to Window in this thing. Output.
Okay.
Navigating, and there is an inspector. See. Got it?
No.
Yeah. In Window, then there is a navigating.
Yeah.
Then there is an inspector over there.
It is only showing only navigator.
Oh, okay. So which version you have downloaded? 6.5.1 or the
No,
latest one?
I have already installed 12.0.
12.0. Okay. So in that, let me see this navigator. Okay. So in this navigator, you have seen. Okay. In navigator also, I have seen on here. Okay. So in this navigator, you can just. I can't. Okay. Wait. Okay. So for deleting the button group also, so you can go over here in generated code where you have to do a lot of changes over there. If you have just not assigned any buttons to or radio button or checkbox to that button group, you can just go ahead and delete this line from the generated code. Okay, so let me just add another button group. Okay, so with this generated code, I have three button groups, but I have assigned only two. But I have to remove this, so I can remove this code.
So, I have to just remove the initializing line.
Yeah, but I think it won't be removing. you need to get this inspector. From that, you can change, you can delete this component. I don't know about this 12.0. I've I've done most probably my GUI coding on the 6.5.1 because it was easy to understand, and the new things, the new ways to, there are new more ways to, like there are Ant, Mave, and other Java GUI components over there, and that's, you can learn that. I didn't know more about that, so I went through the 6.5.1, which was what I was familiar with. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Thank you.
Okay, I'll get back to you. I've also installed 12.0 in another system. I'll get back to you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay. Any other one has a doubt? Okay. So you understood about this. Okay. So now I will add this text area, which is basically a text field. Okay, but it is like multiple line of if you want a multiple lines of output. Okay, for that you can use this text area. Okay, for inputting, for getting the output of the text area. Okay, so you just need to add variable name. Okay, text area one dot append. Okay, so append the given text of the to the end document. Okay, doesn't do anything. Okay, so it will append the string to your output. So the name is saved. Okay, this will append, this will like input any string to the text area. So for like for getting, okay, so for displaying a string plus whatever your name was there. So if you want to display your name, so we don't know what the user will input in the text field, right? So you can just uh, add plus str. So it will be like the name. Okay, for example, I have inputted my name Alap. Okay, so here in text area, it will show as the name Alap is saved. Okay, the text area will print like this. So it's like concatenating two strings. Okay, so the name plus variable. If you want to display anything, just plus and variable. This works same for any integer data type. Okay, int a is equal to 10. Just consider this. Okay, so if you want to add that also, you can just print like the a value is plus a. Okay, so the it will do as the value of a is 10. Okay, so text area field is works like that. Okay, so then there are tables. For table, for displaying like the table thing. Sorry. Okay, so I'll go back to this where, okay, so I'll introduce to this component list. Okay, uh, wait a minute guys, I'll just come back. Sorry guys, family call was there. Okay, so where were we? Okay, so we were doing the swing controls. Okay, so this is basically a drop down list where in which you have seen in many forms where drop down menu is there, right? Right. So like from that you have to select a particular state. Okay. So this is the combo list where you have dropped particularly drop down the thing. Okay. So if you want to like change the variable name, okay. So like right click variable name combo list combo box. Okay. So like just like CB1. Okay. So but if you want to change the items, okay, what it will show in the what in the combo box, right? So go to properties. There's a model properties. Okay. Click on that. Then you can just display your name or anything like states. Gujarat, Maharashtra. Okay. Like then okay. So like you can go on with the list. Okay. So it will now show Gujarat, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Kashmir. Okay. But I wanted to show you guys how it works, but NetBeans is betraying me. I don't know why. GDK is there. Everything is there. Okay. Okay. Good news. It started working. Okay. So like you have seen. Okay. So you have seen like okay. So I've coded this like whenever I double click, it will get action perform. Your name is the name you entered is saved. Okay. So like over here, I will display this and I will replace this. Your name str. Okay. So whenever I run this, okay. So I enter like James. Okay. So I don't know why. Okay. So like over here, see, I've displayed in text field just like I have entered JText field, set text, the name you entered is saved, so it will display over here. Okay, your name is James, just like our text field. Okay, for combo box, see over here. Whatever I choose over here, it is just a drop down. Whatever state I want to choose, whatever list items you want to choose, you can choose. Okay, so like if you want to save the name, okay, save the name in the database or discard the name, a particular name from the database. Okay, so you can choose this option, but see, I can't choose both. This is the use of the button group. Okay, so the same thing works for here. So I want to choose the gender, only one, no other. Like button group can do such like multiple selection, but right now I'm just opt by the default option. It is just a single option you have to choose. Okay, so right now we are seeing this hello world thing. The next thing was basic calculator. Okay, so I want to do a basic calculation. Okay, like basic calculator. Okay, so enter a number. Or a user will input a number over here. I want to enter another. Okay, so enter another label, then enter another number. So then you need text field for that. So text field, then right click, edit text, remove it. Okay, so the another input. So JText field 1, JText field 2. There is a long name. Okay, so I will change the variable name. Okay, of the text field. So I will write T1 and I will do this as T2. No need to change the variable name for the labels because it most probably you won't be using if in case you are using in your main project, then you can change the variable name of the labels, or you are printing in something in labels, you can change that, or else there is no need to do anything. Okay, so I need another label to display like the sum or the answer is. Okay, now I need text area to display a long answer. Okay, I will change this text area's name also like TA1. Okay, then I need buttons to like for addition. There are four basic arithmetic operators. So I need addition, oh, sorry, subtraction, uh, multiplication, uh, division. Okay, then I need for like equal to, what is the answer? I need to display the answer. Okay, so just like over here. Okay, so for that, whenever I click addition button, okay, I need to perform addition function. Okay, so I will double click on that. It will automatically generate action perform. So whatever you click, so whenever I double click the label, okay, by default, okay, sorry, don't label will not do action perform. Sorry, whenever you click text field, whenever you double click the text field, it will automatically generate action perform. Okay, by default it will generate action perform event. Okay, so whenever you want to change this event, just right click event, uh, like where is the focus gain, like whenever focus, like the text field gains the cursor, focus of the cursor, it will perform some event. Okay, so for addition, I'm declaring the first integer. Okay, so for getting the data from the first text field, okay, so you will do as T1, because the variable name of the text field is changed from J text field 1 to T1, so you will use T1 instead of J text field 1 dot get text. But the thing is, it will show an error because the get text returns string data type. It will not return the integer, float, or any other data types. Okay, for that you need converters. So there is a converter like integer dot parse int. Okay, so this integer dot parse int will basically change the string to data integer data type. Okay, so whenever, so like if I enter 10, okay, so it will from get text it will get as like 10, but it will be converted to integer data type to 10. Okay, the same thing works for the another number also, int being equal to integer dot parse int t2 dot get text. Okay, now I need the third variable for calculating. Okay, so int a plus b. Okay, so then I will display in ta1. So to ta1 text in text area means ta1 means text area. I'm saying the variable names. Okay, append the addition of variable a. So plus a. It will display the value of a. Then and b. So I need to print b, the value of b. Then is the result is stored in C. So I will print plus C. Okay. So I run this program. Okay. Event is running. Wait. Okay. So are you guys able to see this screen? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I enter 10. Okay. The first variable, first number I enter 10 and another is 15. But see, I entered these two numbers. And then if I print addition, the addition of 10 and 15 is 25. I clicked because okay, whenever I clicked, there is an action performed. Basically, whenever button is clicked, action performed event is triggered. Then the action event listener will do the functions, whatever I have wrote over here. It will execute all this. Okay. Okay. Then it will show the output. Got it? So the same thing works for everything. So I double click the subtraction. So a new action performed this button, like the method is created. So we don't have to, in NetBeans IDE or GUI, the main advantage of creating this complex design and everything is that the you need to just drag and drop the thing. You don't have to in code. You don't have to say the grid layout and everything for the frame. Okay, so whenever you drag and drop and anything or change the properties of the thing, it will all the NetBeans will generate automatically the code for it. This is the what is called as generated code. Okay, and for action event listeners or any event listeners, just double click it. The method is already created. You just need to write the particular code or particular function what you need to perform. Okay, so I need to perform like b minus a. Okay, so I'll write over here subtraction. Okay, the same thing works for multiplication. Okay, so here is the first integer, second integer, multiplication, and then here is the product. And for division, okay, for division, the thing is you have to mention mention the float data type, because for dividing a and b, okay, so basically many integers, or whenever you user will input something, most probably the division answer will be on decimals. Okay, so we need to, for that we need to declare the result variable into float. Okay, and another main advantage of the another thing for Java in NetBeans is, compared to C and C++, there is no need for access specifier. You just need to remember this, like it will get the string thing, and you have to convert the data type. That's it, nothing else. Okay, so okay, so this answer, what the answer button doesn't need. Okay, so I entered 10. Okay, 10 and another number 50. No, not 50, 15, whatever. Okay, so addition is 25. Okay, wait, run it again. Okay, 10, 15, then addition, subtraction. Okay, see, uh, in the same line, so there is nothing like clearing the output, like clearing the text. I wrote append, not set text. Append means whatever is already written in the text area, it will be there. That, okay, and the next string will be added to it. Okay, so if I change this like slash n to change into the next line. Okay, so whenever it will print something, it will change to next line. Okay, okay, so I get this 15. Okay, two numbers are over here. Then if I print addition, it will do the addition and it will print over here. Subtraction, multiplication, and division. It will give 0 right now. I don't know for where it. Okay, float C. Okay, A divided by B becomes 0. Okay, right now it comes 0. If I change like B divided by A, okay, then your calculator is working. But if you want to basically uh, do much more like proper calculation, you have to do like which is the bigger one, you have to keep it that in front, and in subtraction you have to keep in mind that, and division you have to keep in mind that float is there. Okay, so this is the basic calculator what we have designed. Okay, so you guys have understood what how to create this simple calculator using GUI. Guys, okay. So okay, so do you guys need one more example for like including like radio buttons, checkbox, and list? Guys, just speak up so it will be okay.
Yeah, it is one small, like,
Okay, for radio
up
buttons, for radio
real world.
buttons or checkbox.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll just show
yeah,
you
yeah,
one
sure.
small project, small GUI. I'll just create one more over here. Okay, so wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. I have the project over here. Wait a minute. Okay, so now we will go for rental car or else basically football's score keeping frame, right? So we need a label first of all. Okay, where we will write this uh, football scoreboard. Okay, so over here right now I'll say team A. Okay, so team A list. Okay, so I'll choose over here. I'll say a combo box. So there are a number of teams, right? And I'll click another. I'll add another combo box for team B. Okay, so I'll just change the variable names of the combo box for easy coding. So it will be easy for you to remember also while coding and everything. Okay, radio buttons. Okay, okay. Wait, I'll just go for this thing. I'll add another thing over here. Okay, so then we need to enter text field for inputting the what the how many goals they have scored. Text field T1 and text field T2. Okay, for the goals. Then I'll say a label. Edit text. Okay, gone. But sorry, but during this frame design, we will not see, we can't see the proper label. Okay, so just go over here in labels properties and see there is a border. Okay, border options, border property. Oh, here, go over there. Uh, line border. Okay, so you will see there is a label over here. Label line border is there. Okay, so properties. I need to enter team names. Okay, so let's go for university team names. SRM, IIT, VIT, then ADIT, uh, then MIT. Okay, so there are 5 teams over here. Okay, But then I'll just update the same list over here also, because it will be inter-college football match. Let's consider that. Okay. So I'll have I'll add this button, like add one goal. Okay. So this two buttons will add one goal to this team A. This add one goal button will add a goal to team B. Okay. So change the variable name, like or else don't. I don't think there is a need to change the. Okay. This is the thing. Okay. So check the. We need to check the weather. We will enter the weather details also. Okay. So like how many weather details are there? Like 2, 3, right? Just let's consider this. Change the name, like cloudy, sunny, and rainy. Okay. But what if we, so for, if I've explained like button group, right? For this, I need a button group. Okay. So I'll add one button group, go to every radio button properties and add the button group one. Okay. So same for this also, properties, button group one. Same for this also, radio button group one. Okay. So now I'll change the variable names of every button. Okay. Now I got the weather details, the team details, and everything else. Now what else do I need? Right. I think so. This is enough for now. Okay. So okay. So whatever I choose over here. Okay. Okay. Wait. One more button is there. Result. Okay. Result button. Just add one goal. What? Okay. So in starting for every match, the goal will be 0 and 0, right? And just add one more button to clear all. Like for one match, it's done. We noted it down. Then I want to go for next match. For that, clear all button will be used. Okay. For that, for clear button, I'll double click it. Okay. See what I have done till now. I just drag, drop, edited the components. Okay. So this is the whole how it will be shown to like the user. I've designed like that. Okay. Then the generated code is automatically created, like this much big code. It's already created, like where it will be placed and layout and everything. See, this is whole code. You have to do it on your own, or there is some shortcut for that. But this is the basic thing. You just need to drag and drop. The NetBeans will handle the rest. Okay. So for clear all button, what all do I need to clear? This to text field. Uh, okay, these two text field. This label. Okay, so I will change the label name L1. Okay, L1 label T1 and T2 to 0, and I have to like button group. I need to remove all the option which have like selected whatever's okay. So t1 dot set text. Okay, so what set text? 0 for starting. Same for t2, set text 0. Okay, for L1 also set text, but I don't need to print anything. So simple double quotes, nothing else. For button group. Okay, so there is a button group name is button group 1. So button group 1 dot. There is one thing, the we can choose this clear selection. So whatever we have selected in that button group, okay, it will be, the selection will be get cleared. Okay, so this is the done for clear all button. Go for add one button, add one goal. Okay, so you need to increment the value of the text field by 1. So basically J button 1 action perform, like when I click it, so it will get int G, for example. Then I have to tell the compiler that it's an integer, like convert it to integer. Okay, from t1 dot get text. Okay, this will get the value of that. Then G plus plus operator, increment operator, which will increment the value of G by 1. Then we need to print it again. t1 dot set text. Okay, double quote or simple G. You can go like this, or I suggest G. You can go like this also. It will print the thing. Okay. The another thing is like this G variable is just like accessible in these blocks. It is not accessible outside these blocks. Okay. This is the like the access block of the variable G. Okay. So just add one goal for team B. Okay. I'll copy this. Okay. Same thing. Just remove this. Go to T2. Okay. So like T2 goal will be inputted, then it will be incremented. Okay. So now I need to, okay, so the user will select any one team of this combo box. Okay, I need to print that also. I need to get selected, need to get these values also for printing the thing. Okay, so double click on result. Okay, then I need to get the strings from both the combo boxes for team A and team B name. So the string like name 1 for team 1. Okay, so easy. cb1 dot get text. Wait, cannot find get text. Okay, get item. Sorry, get selected item. So what now? What lang string? Okay, so you need to, okay, okay, so what this function does, okay, so it will get the item what is selected in combo box 1. It will convert it to string. This is data type explicit conversion. Data type explicit conversion. It will convert the item into string and it will store to the name. Okay. So now the same thing for 2, comma box 2. Okay, so the get selected item gets the second comma box item and save the name. Then I need to get the selected item. Okay, I need to get the selected radio button content. So string weather. Okay, so wait. Uh, I don't think this will work or not. Let me try this. Button group and dot get returns the model of the listener. You don't have to do it like another way. Okay, for getting the number. Okay, so you have to create a global variable. Okay, string weather. Design event property change, like if one. Oh, okay, got it. Remove this. Sorry. Okay, so you know if and else, right? For if and else, like if the statement is true, then it will get the like the gate execute the number of the code written below. So the string whether r1 is if r1 dot is selected, okay, equal to true. Okay, so I need to whether will be r1 dot get text. Okay, else if r r2 dot is selected equal to true. Okay, then whether is equal to r2 dot get text. Okay, else if r3 dot is selected equal to true, whether is equal to r3 dot get text. Okay, so we have got the input for the team A name, team B name, what are the weather details. Okay. So we need to get the final score of this bot from this text fields. Okay, so int g1 is equal to integer dot parse int t1 dot get text. Okay, same goes for another team like g2. Okay, so now I need to compare it. Okay, so if G1 is greater than G2, then L1 dot set text. Okay, like what I need to do, team A1 in add weather plus and sunny condition. Okay, or else, so if then L1 dot set text, same thing, but team B1. Okay, initialized. Okay, so the initialization is not right now. Okay, so this is the code. Like we have done this. Let's see. Why is this again happening? Football. Okay, so add one goal. Actually, it is adding. Okay, so I get VIT versus IIT. Okay, add one goal. So it is an incrementing. Okay, I choose sunny. The team A won in sunny condition. If I choose rainy and I change to ADIT plus 4 goals in null conditions. Okay, so clear all. Rainy in null condition. So it's not getting looped. But I guess you got the concept behind it, right? So I'll stop right now. It's too late. Okay. Hello.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So thank you guys for staying with me. So right now I'm circulating the form for the attendance link. Uh, okay, wait. Uh, please fill the form and give us the honest reviews. So for in future events we can overcome that. If anyone has a doubt in anything in GUI or Java coding or any methods or events, just you can contact me. So I'll also put my contact details over here in the chat. Uh, so does anyone has a doubt? Anything? So why don't we have any method for getting the selected item from the button group? similar to combo box. Okay, for in button group, it's like I didn't I know I came across that same doubt earlier also, but I was not able to find a particular method or function, predefined function to get the selected radio button or checkbox from that. Okay, but right now in the latest updates, I don't know if they have resolved that or not, but I'll get into it and definitely say it. Okay. How did you get it? Can you tell me? Boric Vibhav?
Am I audible?
Yeah,
Yeah, so you have said that to click on window and click on navigator, right?
yeah,
In the navigator only, I have many fields.
yeah,
So
yeah.
in that fields, I have button group 1, 2, 3.
From that you have removed, no?
Yeah,
Yeah, from that also you can do, but I was not able to delete from my version.
yeah, yeah.
But most probably inspector see the inspector and navigator, the main function of that inspector and navigator is to know how many components are there and how what is the name of that, because while coding a big thing where there are many components, to get a particular name you are very much you've been lost, or you get to get the particular component name or variable name, you have to search a lot. For that, inspector and navigator are used.
Yeah, in your version, the inspector is same as in my version's navigator.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.